So 2020 has been a great year, huh? We got fires and plagues and freak disasters of death and, the toppling of a social construct that was made to protect the public, and it turns out it's not doing that. For someone who tends to have a high amount of anxiety and just general wanting to deal with all this in the best way possible, I am currently a beacon of stability, except like the opposite of that.
You're right, laddie.
Nope.
As a tip for those who are having a generally hard time, it helps a little bit if you consider these problems are outside your control. Deep breaths. In the midst of all this, Discord has appeared in Pony Life. So here we are, yet again, talking about Discord in the KP house. Some things never change, I guess. Please don't play the Frozen song. I can't. I also make some not horse content. Please check it out. There's a link to the new playlist in the description. We work really hard, and I just want you to notice me and stay subscribed while we talk about things that aren't horse. If I see one more comment that says I forgot that KP existed until now, until I was in a collab, then I'm gonna cry. Lo and behold, there's a difference with this interpretation. Discord will not be voiced by John Delancey. He's voiced by Peter New.
I wonder what sorts of boring chaos they're up to.
A teapot that just pours tea? How positively dreadful.
You know those days when you're like, this might as well happen?
First, let me be clear that Peter is a cool and talented guy, and generally loves the pony fan base. Like, you do not cosplay as a fandom meme without a high level of love and admiration for what you do. This whole situation is kinda weird. Let me explain. Unlike other characters in the horse show, Discord was inspired by John's role of Q in Star Trek. If you're new here and don't know that, welcome to the KP-verse. Please make sure you subscribe and comment. Again, really, this concept is no stranger to animation. Did you know that James Woods reprised his role for Hades in the Hercules TV show for its entire run? They even made him sing a song, and he did it.
In my town, I'm number one.
Not in my book, you ain't.
What is this? He's also still in Kingdom Hearts and House of Mouse if you care. Nah.
Is this an audience or a mosaic?
This idea is just kind of weird because the actor that inspired the role is not playing said role. This would be the case if Discord was replaced by anyone else. My favorite weird example of a sound-alike replacing the voice actor, again, this happens all the time in brands where a notable character needs to be voiced in the main product, or the toy line, or the shorts, or the theme park attractions, and they can't afford to pay Tom Hanks, so they get his brother, Jim Hanks, whose primary income is replacing his real-life brother's voice for things he doesn't want to do.
Get my brother Jim, he'll do it. So that's my brother Jim.
I genuinely thought that was an urban myth, but
it's true. Absolutely true.
This is a real thing. Google it.
This is the perfect time to panic. We'll be able to find a way to transport you home.
My guess is no one's ever loved you before, because you know nothing about hearts and love.
I know this is a little strange, but you gotta trust me on this.
That's a lot of why Disney doesn't go for celebrity voice actors as much nowadays, since keeping their characters' brand, and therefore their voices, is consistent in all these places usually helps hiring a less famous person. I imagine after the Robin Williams fallout, this has just been so great for Disney PR.
Williams did not want to be the celebrity off of which Aladdin was marketed. His name being used to market the movie and its tie-in merchandise at all created a massive rift between himself and the Walt Disney Company that lasted for years, all because Disney just couldn't resist ignoring this man's request not to be used as a marketing tool for Aladdin.
Back on topic. Before we go into speculation about why Discord is recast, let's first look at how Discord as a character is portrayed in the new episode called Discord's Peak. Before I get into it, there seems to be a lot of weird Fluttershy implications everywhere, even the title card. Also cake. Lots of cake.
You want this cake?
I want it.
You want this cake?
That aged really well. I will say some things about this. First of all, Fluttershy, of all the horses, has a very different character than previously. Before, in case you didn't know, she's portrayed as really meek and shy. Fluttershy, you get it? Non-confrontational to the point where they made an episode about it that one time. Here, she is not that. She's kind of a bitch. She's noticeably more aggressive and mean. It affects the plots of multiple episodes, but we'll get into that in a second. It's kind of weird really, but I can see why people might find this new and different. She also has the ability to shrink and grow, which is never explained to my knowledge. Can someone please tell me about that? Or, the ability helps her express her personality and meanness to the point where it's sometimes manipulative. Well, Okay then. The second point I want to bring up is this show seems to change what Fluttershy really wants with a lot of consistency. She wants to f a dolphin in one episode, like she has a body pillow for it, and a whole Helga Pataki shrine to the dolphin. I don't know what the f is going on, but you know, Fluttershy just loves everything, I guess. So she has hearts coming out of her when she sees Discord. And I know you came to the KP video in 2020 hoping to hear me read to the high heavens about this and watch nothing else I've made since, but there's a consistency problem. I don't know what this will mean. She does have possessive phrasing when she's referring to Discord, but the words boyfriend and girlfriend are never used, so
You mean my boyfriend?
That's my boyfriend, sir!
I don't know what's going on, or this will be a continuing thing. The last point before we get into the actual plot of the episode is that Discord and Fluttershy's relationship, whatever that means, is never really defined here. Discord literally just shows up and then the episode starts. Does Discord start out as a good already in this version? How does he know the ponies? What even is this? Twilight makes a side comment about Fluttershy's friend choices, so...
Sometimes I worry about the friends you choose.
I don't know, without a lot of context, it's hard to really examine a lot of these romantic or friendly aspects. This could be a gag for this episode. We have to see what the future holds, I guess. So it's actually a short episode. Let's get into that. Discord, again, shows up unprompted and randomly at Sugar Cube Corner 2.0. There's lightning, so the audience is supposed to know that he's a bad character. Also, this is a thing, because we remember the other show happened. The girls are in the midst of having a discussion about going up Mount Volcano. You get it?
No.
Fluttershy really wants him to go, assuming to hang out or something, but Discord really isn't interested. True to his form, Discord is the type of character that ain't gonna do anything unless he's personally interested in it. This is correct. I approve. He also has this new running gag when he distracts the ponies.
Oh hey, look over there!
I also think this is cute, sure. Fluttershy then comes up with a plan to manipulate Discord into coming with them by enticing the volcano to erupt. But it seems like Discord kind of wants to change his mind anyway. He's bored. When the volcano erupts though, he goes to save the day. He helps out, and Fluttershy has the idea to make him this made-up thing called a solo scout, honoring his want to kind of do his own thing. Again, the hearts are a little confusing. There's also this gag that Discord, as a character who can teleport, forgets he can teleport. Overall, it's cute, harmless enough, and besides the jarring elements in Fluttershy's character, everything else is just okay as far as this character representation. I also like Discord's design. He's very cute. Cute Discord makes me happy. Let's get back to that recasting part. Really, I think why this is particularly heartbreaking for me, and contrary to popular belief, I am fairly confident that this was not a budget thing. It seems like all the actors, including the main 6 actors, were told that this was a new concept and asked to reprise their roles. Notably, Kathy Westluck, who played Spike in Generation 4, did not choose to reprise him in Pony Life.
It was my personal choice to decide to end voicing Spike. I just thought that it was the right choice for me to end it at that time.
Also, having Kara Strong return isn't a cheap ticket, yo. So the more I think about this, the more this seems like an active choice that John had to make and not due to external issues. Unlike Spike though, Discord was written for John, inspired by Q, another character John played. John has a relationship and made an active effort to want to defend fans from those who had marginalized them in the past. Or make money, despite sometimes the lackluster interpretation of that representation.
His agent started getting hit with requests for John to appear at brony conventions. John investigated this whole thing and appears to have reached one conclusion: bronies have cash to burn. The media discourse around bronies is always awful, because it's always just like, isn't it weird that men like a thing that's pink? Yeah, it's weird. It's pretty funny, but it's not like worthy of scorn. It's just people having a good time. It's pretty cringy, but so are most fun things.
How do you go from actively wanting to participate in this community to the point of making a documentary about it to declining to reprise this character? For what, a handful of episodes that are shorter than the original material? I can't help think that this is something of a shortcoming, like we didn't do enough, and that he's personally tired of Discord and what playing him entails, even though myself and many others were personally invested in him and his interactions with the community. What does this say about what's happened here? I mean, I'm not gonna lie, I've always given John a very generous benefit of the doubt for a long time, when a lot of people do not for some of his fandom's misunderstanding and his documentary presence as a whole. I mean, he's old, social media is hard when you're like in your 70-somethings, and his approach to bronies, and I can imagine like he, like the rest of the cast, has had more of their handful of awful experiences with some of his older fans. My experience has been bittersweet as someone who believes in the best of him, but they can also be frustrating by his lack of understanding and general old man cluelessness. So in the midst of this, ironically, John has a Cameo account that's open. If you don't know what Cameo is, it's basically a service that will let you pay famous actors to say things for you, usually things from happy birthday messages to voicemails to stuff like that. I think this is commonly known in the industry as bitch work. So, Discord ain't looking too bad now, huh, senpai? So if you want to, you can pay John Delancey $100 to talk about how he really feels about KP, and then we can finally get to the bottom of all this, and we can, we're done. So if you do that, let me know. Tell him I sent you. I don't know.
That's it. Forget it. I'm out of here. I am out of here. I'm out of here.
Way to go, guys.
So I think I know why Jenny has these views. So Storytime, I talk about this more in the podcast in case you're curious. So the first convention that John Delancey did after a period of time after the documentary was Everfree 2014. I was there, Jenny was there, Griffin, the guy Jenny did Friendship is Witchcraft, was there, and originally they had a panel that they were all going to do together, where Jenny wrote a Friendship is Witchcraft script that included Discord. I was salty about this, but that's besides the point. If you're unfamiliar with Friendship is Witchcraft's tone of humor, it's very off, so you kind of have to get used to it usually. The other thing is that the script was finished right before the convention, so John didn't have a chance to read it before the convention, so they did a cold read. And John was very rude from that cold read because Jenny told me after. So I imagine that's where this comes from.
I've met both Tara and John in the green rooms of these conventions and heard the way both of them talk to and about their fans, both when they're public facing and when they're not. John is the rudest actor I've ever met. He hates bronies and he hates doing fan conventions, and as of at least 2013, he still had not seen a single episode of the show.
But the reason he was salty about that cold read was because John Delancey has very bad dyslexia. And he also didn't understand the jokes. So he was making side comments about the jokes as a coping mechanism because he was embarrassed that he couldn't read the script. So what happened is that the staff of the convention had to give everyone their money back, and the event was done for free for the people who did pay for it. And what was chosen to read was this old thing that John wrote when he was in his 20s about how he had to read when he was 13 to 14 by poetry. 13 to 14 is usually a lot older than you should learn to read at, so this is the problem. John actually got really emotional and started crying near the end, and it was very weird. So I imagine that's where this came from. I'm not justifying John's rudeness. I'm not trying to be a John apologist or something like that. But at the same time, I can see why he acted that way and how he was personally embarrassed. And personally, like I've said, I've always given John the benefit of the doubt a lot of the time, which has its pros and cons. But he's been nice to me in return. He'll make an effort to be nice to me at conventions. Not a huge effort, but an effort, which I appreciate, actively waving at me. And there's other stories that I can get into that I'm not really allowed to get into, but he's basically had my back a couple of times. So yeah, he's a complicated human being. I am not the first to say that sometimes dealing with bronies or internet fans in general is a cakewalk. Sometimes by participating in these kinds of things, you open yourself up to people that might not have the best social skills, or worse, might be dangerous. I have personally seen some of the worst of humanity in this fandom, but also some of the best. The horse fandom and what's left of it can be a negative experience for a lot of the show staff, to the point where they want to walk away from it. Although we make different content these days, I'm still willing to talk about pony life and stuff like it when I feel the need to, because I know the majority of people who look forward to these types of videos are not part of the toxic minority. At least I hope not. That being said, John's decision to decline voicing one of his most well-known appearances is personally disappointing. I know I can say that pony life is minimal compared to the legacy of the main show. At the end of the day, Discord will still be remembered as being voiced by John, probably, since he did voice him for the majority of the main show's run. No offense to Peter, obviously. This would be the case if anyone replaced him, by the way. And to iron out this point, please put your hooves together. Hooves, I did it. For Gilbert Godfrey Discord.
I'm not playing fair. Perhaps we've never met. I'm Discord, spirit of chaos and disharmony. Hello? Maybe the magic of friendship can help you. Now, if you'll excuse me, I have some chaos to wreak. Ho ho! I'm going to need more popcorn! Oh, I'm not doing this for me. I'm doing it for my friends. Just between the two of us. It's mostly for Fluttershy. Squee!
We also don't really know how long Pony Life will be around, but from the looks of it, probably only a season or two. This is a different continuity. All these reasons are true, but the things that are left unsaid is what really disappoints me personally, and I just mourn that disappointment. So if you want to read, please do so in the comments, and I will judge all the best reading and generally your lives. Also your salty Fluttercord comments. And that's all, folks, except it's not time for the ending gag.
What about you, Joker? Have you ever had a girlfriend?
Oh, hey, look over there.
Waldo's gonna be here. Waldo's John's boyfriend. Do you have boyfriends? No, of course not.
The most tragic thing about the fall of Rome is the series that HBO is gonna make out of it.
But you...
Hey!
Well, perhaps you're into more observational humor.
Hey everyone, thank you so much for watching. Click here to subscribe, we really appreciate it. Don't forget to turn your notifications on to get notified every time we make a new video. Click here to check out the main collaborator for the video, usually the editor. Click here to check out our video playlist for this video, where you'll find similar videos that you might just like, hopefully. There's also a credit scroll here where you can check out all the other awesome contributors. All their info is in the description. That's all I gotta say, KPON!